didn't see that far. I didn't have my glasses. I just realized who it was.
3 rings, 3 bells. I don't know how that works. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club. We have an exciting speaker tonight, and we have some guests here, and I'll introduce them a little bit later. We're going to start out our meeting by singing "Arousing America the Beautiful." We're going to stand and sing "America the Beautiful." Our pledge will be by Alton Reed, and then Mark Nelson's going to come up here and give the prayer. So will you all stand, and please stay standing till after the prayer. And I'll try and lead us, but I'm not a very good leader. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Repeat after me, the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we're indeed thankful that we could meet like this where we can discuss the problems of the town and the youth of this town. We ask that the Spirit might be with us, that we do the right things and say the right things, and that our Spirit will help us to continue the programs that we have initiated. These prayer blessings we ask in our Son Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Thank you so much for all those that have participated so far. My name is Doug Lund. I'm the president of the Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club, and we're so glad to have everyone here tonight. We've changed the way we do things just a little bit. Until further notice, we're not going to have it. We're not going to be a dinner meeting. We're going to meet right here in the Spanish Fork Veterans Hall, and we're so grateful for the Spanish Fork veterans. They so graciously let us use their beautiful facility here. They've remodeled this room, and it's just beautiful. And we thank them so much for all they do for our community and for our Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club. So instead of having a meal, we're going to have refreshments at the back after the meeting instead, which I think will be just fine. And then when we're back up at the Canyon View Park, I think we'll start our food again when we're back up. Rick?
Yes, we will still have our Christmas dinner, and February we'll have a meal. Correct?
Yeah, our Christmas dinner and our Valentine's dinner will be as scheduled. And probably right here. As far as I know, we're going to have them right here in this building. And it should be a very, very nice affair, and I'll announce that just a little bit later.
Thank you.
So everyone knows. We do not have too many more meetings left this year. It's getting to be November. I think we've got one more meeting in November, and then our Christmas party early December. So kind of plan for that. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and I've emailed everybody. This Saturday is road cleanup again.
Yep.
Then the next meeting is 2 weeks from tonight.
So okay, we'll announce that. We'll announce that we have a project that we have been doing for several years now, and we clean up the highway on both sides between the IFA. Is it the IFA? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the IFA. It's quite a long stretch out there between the IFA and the freeway. And we've done a really good job to clean that up. And so this Saturday at 9 a.m.
10.
Oh, we changed to 10?
never been
Oh, I
9.
thought it was 9. Sorry. Thank you, Eugene, I've been corrected.
Wait, we've changed our clocks.
We changed our clocks this week.
No wonder Doug's never been on the show that in a long time.
Probably forgot to change my clock. But 10 a.m. at the IFA when we'll start the road cleanup this Saturday morning. And we'll have the key clubs there to help us. And we could use anybody's help. And if you're watching on Channel 17, we could use your help out there too. We'd love to have any help we could to get out there and clean up the highway. It's a great thing we do for our community. And if you drive past, you'll see our sign out there that says this highway is sponsored by the Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club. And it gives us a little bit of notoriety in the community that people know that we care enough to try and keep our community looking good. So if you're watching on TV, don't throw anything out on that highway between IFA and the freeway. Because that means we have more work to do to get it cleaned up. We have a very special guest tonight, and I'm going to introduce her right now. Wendy, would you come up? This is Wendy Osborne, and her husband Jody's here tonight with us. And Wendy's going to tell us about Tabitha's Way and all the wonderful things that they're doing here in our Spanish Fork community to really fill a need of the people that are struggling, that have got some things going on in their lives, and they either have very little food or shelter or clothing. And our Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club is enthusiastically endorsing Tabitha's Way and everything they do. And so we brought her down here tonight to tell us about Tabitha's Way and some of the programs that she's got, and how our Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club can help. And I'm going to turn the time over to her for a few minutes, and she can tell about what's going on over there and hopefully how we can help.
Thank you. First, thank you everyone for allowing me to come tonight and speak. I appreciate the opportunity that I can speak to anyone within our community to educate people about what's going on in our community and how people can help, because there's a lot to do. So first, I just want to start to introduce myself and Tabitha's Way in case some of you don't know about Tabitha's Way. We're a nonprofit organization in Spanish Fork, and we provide free food and supplies to people in need in our community. We're currently feeding on average 5,000 individuals every single month in this area. We are just right on Main Street, just by Lucky 5 at 140 North Main Street. And so we have a full-time food pantry there. In addition to our pantry, we have special events that we have each year, which we help provide additional services to families in need and to children especially. In August, we do a backpack giveaway. This year we gave out 650 brand new backpacks with school supplies to children. We also, at that event, had a free spinal screening and eye exam and items like that for the children. We also just concluded our coat giveaway where we gave out 600 new coats to children in need. And upcoming at the end of this month, on the 21st of November, our goal is to give out Thanksgiving meals to 200 families in need in our community. And then after that, in December, on December 18th, we'll be having our annual Christmas dinner, in which Clyde's Bottle Band every year has been so gracious to help attend that and entertain our guests. So last year we fed between 650 or more people. We usually plan for about 800 individuals. We usually invite seniors and veterans out for the first hour, and then after that, families that are in need. And we have children and families who come, and these children, every child that comes gets a new Christmas gift, a little kit that we put together, which has a blanket and hats and gloves, crayons, coloring books, a new toy for each of the children, and they get to pick out those gifts and receive them for free. So I am here tonight to ask for your help and for the help of the community. As I said, our goal is to provide Thanksgiving dinner for 200 families in need this year. Last year we provided for 178 families and purchased a portion of the turkeys, and a portion of the turkeys were donated. However, turkeys that we purchased last year were at 88 cents a pound. This year, with the problem with the turkey and chicken flu from this year, there is a shortage of turkeys. And the price of turkeys have gone up to 3 times. They're $2.49 a pound. And so it's quite costly for us to do this, provide this service to families. And so we're here to ask for your help from the Kiwanis and also from people in our community to help these families out. If it's difficult for us to provide, to meet that need as individuals, just imagine how difficult it is for those families that are in need. I want to share a couple of thoughts that I wrote down with you, and I want to also share a few stories with you. The Webster's Dictionary defines Thanksgiving as a public acknowledgement or celebration of divine goodness. Okay, I brought my tissue. Hopefully you guys did too. So some of these stories, last year at our Christmas dinner, we had a mother who was fleeing an abusive situation, and she had 2 teenage daughters. And her only form of Christmas that year was to be able to come to our dinner and for us to be able to give gifts to her daughters. I imagine the situation, she was doing the best that she could, but how difficult that is to be living in a car with 2 teenage daughters and trying to get by. We had a gentleman that biked 18 miles from San Juan to get food from our facility. He was a young man. His family had fallen on hard times. He had a young wife and a child. And his wife and the child were able to find help through her family, I assume, for them. However, they didn't have a way to help this gentleman. And so he was alone in Santa Quin and didn't have any way to get food. And so he biked to our facility 18 miles to get food. And he hadn't eaten in 4 days. And that was really hard to see. If you've ever seen anybody who hasn't eaten in 4 days, it'll change your opinion about people who are hungry in our community. One day when I was at our food pantry, just as I was closing up, a woman called. She typically walks to Tabitha's Way. She's disabled. She walks to Tabitha's Way. It's a little over a mile to get food a couple of days a week. And she called me and she had said she had left her milk there, and she was wondering if we could bring it to her because it was so difficult for her to just be able to walk to Tabitha's and back with her disabilities that she had of milk. She explained to me that where she lived, and that she lived in a home with 12 other people. She rented a room in this house. I was surprised to find that when I arrived at her home to deliver the milk, she in fact did not have a room, but lived in a hallway in this house. Her bed was a cot in the middle hallway where people walked through, and she explained to me how difficult it was for her to sleep at night because people were always walking through her hallway, which was her room, which was all that she could afford on her disability paycheck. A family with 18 children, struggling to make all of the ends meet. A young man walked into our store, and his shoes were literally duct tape. He had big feet, bless his heart. So it was very difficult for his family to be able to afford shoes for him. I imagine the difficulties that it is for this family as they're trying to provide food for 18 young children, and the struggles that they might have. I had 3 children, 3 boys who ate a lot, so I can't. 18 children, it just seems to be unimaginable for me. But bless the little hearts, they did all they could. One time that family came to get food from our facility, and I remember the look on the face for these children, because at this one particular date we had gotten a wonderful donation of meats and salads and fresh fruits and items. And these are items that were a luxury for this family. They just don't see these things. And I remember looking at the faces of these children and seeing how grateful they were, how thankful they were to have food in their home, and their hearts were just full of just happiness and joy just to have the simple pleasure of food. Things that we have every day. Last year when we did our Thanksgiving dinners, when we provided our turkey baskets to the families. One mother sobbed as we provided this service to her, thanking us for the dinner and saying that she had been praying the entire week for something for Thanksgiving for her family. And it was such an honor to provide this dinner for her and her family. I want to share a couple of my favorite scriptures that I have, if you don't mind. Galatians 6:2 says, "Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ." When I think of each of these families, and I think how we can help them and bear their burden and share that and help those families, we have the ability to do it, and it's an honor for us to do it. In Romans 12:6 it says, "If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently, and if it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully." In Romans 12:13 it says, share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. And in Hebrews 13:2, in regards to hospitality, this is one of my favorite scriptures. It says, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it." When I think about feeding angels, I think, wow, that's pretty cool. So my plea today is to ask you if you will help us to make this Thanksgiving truly a divine celebration of goodness, to help these families, to help them and bear this burden and provide this Thanksgiving meal for these families. Our goal, as I said, is for 200 families, and I've placed a little poster here. People can donate online at our website and just put in the little note section, turkeys, and we will use all the monies that were donated to buy turkeys. The cost for the turkeys this year for us will be $5,300 just for the turkeys. So any little bit helps. We've secured a really great deal for the turkeys from Macy's this year at $1 less per pound than anywhere else we could find. So we've committed to 200 turkeys, and we're excited about this opportunity to help all of these families. I hope that all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and as you sit around these tables, your tables with your families, and feel the gratitude of having such a wonderful opportunity to serve these families and to be with your own families and to be a part of this community. I feel truly blessed and honored to be in this community and to see the wonderful things that go on here. So thank you, and God bless.
Don't go away.
Oh.
Stay right there. Let's give Wendy another round of applause and thank her so much for all she does to help our community. Wendy came to our board meeting a week ago, and after she left, our board had discussed this issue, and the board of directors of the Kiwanis Foundation and also of our Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club have graciously agreed to donate $1,000 to Tabitha's Way. Clyde's here with the check, and he's going to bring it right up. He just wrote it out.
Right off the market.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank all of you. That's awesome.
And it's also up to each one of us individually. I'm sure as you were giving your talk here, that stay right here, don't go anywhere.
Okay.
I'm sure that as you were giving your talk here tonight, there are a lot of people in our audience here at the Spanish Fork Kiwanis Club and also on television that can individually think of things that they could possibly do. There is a need for these toys for Christmas, a toy between $5 and $10, and they probably need hundreds of them. Am I exaggerating?
No.
Yeah, they need hundreds of them. And I'm sure that individually we in the club can think of something we can do. So it's my invitation for you to go home and speak with your families and decide what we can do as individuals to maybe help Wendy and her quest to make Spanish Fork a truly wonderful place for every single person. And I also have a certificate of thanks. We have a little certificate here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanking you for coming tonight. And Jody, thanks for taking time out from your schedule to come with Wendy tonight. You did a wonderful job, and we thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. Now you can sit down.
Thank you. I'm going to give you a hug. Thanks.
questions?
Oh, yeah, would you like,
Sure.
are there any questions?
That's good, yeah.
Come back up here for
Oh, okay.
questions.
All right, sorry.
I already asked you one about the how many $5 and $10 gifts, but, yeah.
Where are the people coming from? I mean, one time I heard you talk, and there were people living down by the river.
Yeah,
Homeless?
well, we did have a couple of summers ago, there was a young family with a child, and her bed at night was a stroller. And so they lived down by the river and underneath by where the bridge was, and they didn't have any place to go.
Of course, you don't ask them a lot, but how big of an area are we serving? Spanish Fork and?
We primarily serve mostly from Springville down to Santa Quin is the area that most of the local families go to. We do see families that come up from the Nephi area because there's a food pantry there, but they're only open once a month. And so if that time of need comes and it's not during that. We do have some families that come from the north as well, but most of it is, like I said, from Springville to the Santa Quin area. And when we first started Tabitha's, we'd go out and we'd talk to the school districts, to workforce services. We went to organizations, the jail that's here in town, and let them know that we're here as a resource. And from that, people, have shared the information. We work very closely with the school districts that's how we with our coats that we gave away, we contacted the school districts and asked the schools to contact, because I'll be honest with you, they're even more on the front lines in regards to what situation is going on in the homes and the areas of need, even more than we are. They see a lot, so. Did that answer the question?
You sure did, yes.
You sure did.
So yeah.
Harvey, so you don't make money, but what you do is take in donations, food and clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to turn in an old TV there, you don't take that.
Mm-hmm. No, we are actually getting ready to put on our website some information about where people can recycle things, but you can also go to Earth 911 and you could take, for example, you could take a TV to Best Buy to recycle it. So we primarily do, clothes, shoes, small household items. Our charity rating is right now at 96, which means if you were to give me $1, 96 of that cents goes directly to the use of providing services, so for the charitable purpose. So.
Are you getting paid enough?
Yes, God has blessed me tremendously, so yes, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. So.
Why did you start Tabitha's Way? Where'd you get the name?
Okay, so I started Tabitha's, it was a personal, spiritual journey for me to start with. Tabitha is a woman in the Bible in Acts 9:36, and it's that scripture that I was studying and meditating on when God put on my heart to quit my job and start Tabitha's. But what I love most about Tabitha's now is it's more than just my spiritual journey. It has become a community thing. It's become a spiritual journey for many people, for many organizations, for churches, civic organizations, for kids, for schools, for so many people who help and come and participate with Tabitha's. From anything from our pack giveaway to our Christmas dinner, so many people, or even volunteering at our food pantry. People come and help, and it's an experience for people in our community, which is amazing and also a huge blessing and a miracle to me. I'm surprised at how many times God sends people our way to help, and the supplies that He brings, and it seems like the more we give away, the more He gives for us to give. So I love it. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, you started with just yourself and your family.
Yeah. Yes.
And now you have 40, 50 volunteers at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have, so anyone who's interested in volunteering, you can actually go to our website and click on volunteering and schedule to volunteer at our food pantry anytime. But we have a lot of regular volunteers that come in each week, but we always need more. Kind of one example is of this, during the winter months we collect a lot of food drive donations, which is a tremendous help. It's kind of our storage for the summer months when things get really lean, because we don't get a lot of food drives or donations during that time. But as an example, last year during 1 week we collected 30,000 pounds of canned goods. We have to go through all those canned good items and sort them, check them, make sure that they're good for people to use, and get them on the shelves. And so there's always a lot of work. Every Wednesday you'll see a truck come in from the Utah Food Bank, and we'll have anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10 pallets of food that come in. And we don't have a loading dock, so we have to hand unload all of those.
So they're bringing it
pallets.
to you?
Yeah, so we get food from the Utah Food Bank, from food drives from people in the community, and then also we do grocery rescue. We currently have a grocery rescue team. I think we're up to 15, I think it's 15 grocery stores that it's different organizations besides grocery stores that we pick up food items from. And we have a group of women who volunteer their time. We pick up at least from 3 different locations every single day to provide food to people in need.
What is food rescue? What does that mean?
Grocery rescue. So, for example, have you ever gone into the grocery store and you're going to buy a gallon of milk, and you take the newest gallon of milk instead of the one that so the grocery stores give us food that's getting close to expiration, but is perfectly good for people to eat. And so we'll take those items, and instead of them being thrown away, families who are in need can receive those food items.
How did you choose Spanish Fork?
Actually, God did. So, I'm praying about it. I was like, okay, where do you want? And it was interesting, is God was very specific about Spanish Fork, close to Main Street, and near an area where it's accessible. That's one of the biggest things, is making sure that when you're running a pantry that you have a location where people can get to it from a bus stop or walk to it, available to people. And so when we had our first little location, which was right behind Stone Drug in the back of on the other side of Main Street, we got the most wonderful facility, which was exactly what we needed. And so there's a scripture that says God establishes our borders, and I believe firmly that He led us right to where we're supposed to go, and Spanish Fork is it. And I don't know if all of you know this, but in the nonprofit community, Spanish Fork is known as the volunteer community, and nonprofits love our mentality about volunteering and serving, and so we are well known for our community spirit and volunteering. So kudos, Spanish Fork. So
Do you live in Spanish Fork?
I do. So I've been here 10, 11 years. So
How do you relate to Desert Industries?
we're similar in that we use donations and textile recycling to fund our programs. However, Desert Industries' core focus is more on providing jobs for people and training and helping people in that manner. But they do a lot of services like overseas and things like that. So there's organizations such as Big Brothers Big Sisters. There's multiple sclerosis. Feed the World. So there's other organizations that do similar things to us in regards to like textile recycling, but their core focus of what they're doing with that particular funds, whether it's creating a mentor for a child, or helping with medical research, or providing well water for children overseas. So there's all good things that can be done with your clothes that you're not using. So
There was a food kitchen in Provo. I don't know if there still is. But I remember years ago, after we would have a family party, and there was perishable food left. I mean, donuts, cookies, maybe some fresh vegetables or things. My wife would say, take that over to there now before it gets old. I mean, the next morning I'm over there. Food kitchen, was that what it was called?
Yeah. So that's the Food and Care Coalition, and they provide hot meals for people who are in need. So like nutritious warm meals for families that can't provide.
And that's different from you.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
You're a grocery store, a free grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But we can receive like vegetables, like homegrown vegetables, garden vegetables, canned
You don't
food
feed them
items.
there like that place does.
Yeah, we
You
don't
give it
cook
to
them. Our facility is not built for us to provide those hot meals for people, but our pantry does provide the
But
food
you're
items.
telling us there's tons of people who need help.
There are a lot of people.
And
I think a lot of
volunteer.
people would be surprised. I know in the Nebo School District, they have, I believe it's 1,600 is the number, I might be wrong, but 1,600 students that are homeless or displaced, just in the Nebo School District alone. So there is a great need.
And do they get free breakfast at school, or what's that program?
They do. They do have some free and reduced breakfast for the children while they're at school, and they do have some programs. I believe they have now brought down, one of the programs provides sack lunches in their backpack for some
Free
of the children.
lunches too, yeah.
Because they realize some of the children do have no food at home, or they don't get to eat. a good example of working with the Nebo School District. Last year I was contacted by a representative of Nebo School District. There was a mother that had 6 children. They were out in, I think, Santa Clara Goshen. They were living in a van. And somebody had discovered that this family was living in a van, and they found shelter for them in a temporary house. And they got the kids into school. Once the kids got into school, they discovered that the children had head lice, which actually was a blessing in disguise, because once they had head lice, the counselor then took the kids home. When the counselor took the kids home, discovered that there was little furniture in the home and absolutely no food. When he asked the children when they had last eaten, they couldn't answer. They didn't remember when they had eaten last. And so, because there were some children that still weren't even in school, that were at home. And so, from that, we got the tip that they were in need of help, and were able to gather clothes and furniture and some supplies, food supplies and things like that, a few pieces of furniture. We're able to give to that family and help them.
So do you go to them, or do they come to you, or both?
Typically, no, they come to us. We don't have the resources to deliver food to people. However, we've had representatives from the school district that will come and get the supplies if the family can't come. So if it's a source that we're working with, they will, come to us. So if it's a member of the school district or a counselor or someone who's in a program, maybe from the Women of Promise, they'll contact us. Neighbor Works Provo, they'll contact us and say, hey, we've got this family. They came to us recently with a mother who has terminal cancer, and she has 6 children, and she's a single mother. And so she was too ill to come and get food. The children are age 18 down to 5, and so the older children are helping take care of the younger children, but they came and got the food for them. But typically the families do come to us at our facility. So.
I've noticed a lot of donation boxes around that you didn't used to have.
Yeah.
How many of those have we got in Spanish Fork?
In Spanish Fork? 22 in Spanish Fork?
22 in Spanish Fork.
22 in Spanish Fork. And we have 123 boxes throughout Utah County, and another 80 to place, roughly. So what we do with those donation boxes is we've discovered the reason...
Bins. They're
bins.
Big bins,
They're
like
big
a
bins.
garbage dumpster.
Yeah, they are. So there's 21 billion pounds of clothing that's being put into our landfills every single year.
Wow.
And
somebody donated the bins.
yes, somebody donated the bins. So those bins are for people to put their unwanted shoes and clothes and small household items in there. And we collect those items and then take those items and resell them. We use some of them for the people in need in the community, but a large portion of it actually goes to a broker that we sell these items to, and that's how we fund our organization. So we don't receive state or federal funds to run our operations. It's all through the textile recycling. So even a stained shirt or a torn pair of jeans actually can be recycled into something. They take jeans and make building installations. They take shoes and make punching bags. They take stuffed animals and old pillows and make pet beds. So we could keep these things out of our landfills and use it for a higher and better purpose. So
I saw shoes for $1 or $2 in your store, and shirts were $1.
yeah. So a portion of the clothing items go into our store, and it's meant to be affordable clothing. I'm surprised. There's new stuff. We get things with tags on it all the time. It's brand new. People come in and we're able to get really nice items for very inexpensive price, and so it helps them, and it also helps further our mission as well for what we're trying to do. So
Any other questions?
In our board meeting last week, you mentioned there's some specific ways that our club can get involved in the next couple of projects you're having. Let's bring that to attention to membership right now and say this is what we need from we as members of the Kiwanis Club over the next little while.
okay. So in addition to the turkey baskets, our next big project is our Christmas dinner. We provide a hot meal for families, as well as I said, each of the children come in and get a new toy. And so what we do is we put toy kits together, and in those toy kits we have a brand new toy that's valued between $5 and $10. We put a pair of gloves, a hat, a scarf, a coloring book, and crayons, and and a blanket. We package them together and we hand those out to the children that are in need. And so we need help with anything from providing some of the food supplies for the Christmas dinner to providing the toys, doing the toy drive. We currently have all the blankets already gathered, but we still need hats and gloves, crayons, coloring books.
And who provided those blankets again?
This year, actually, the BYU Women's Conference provided all of those blankets to us this year. So we're super excited that we have all these new little fleece blankets to hand out to the kids. So it's really exciting. So, so help with the Christmas dinner is a huge help. It's a big undertaking. It takes several months to plan, but it's a lot of fun. And it's a great way
What
to
date
spend
is that?
Christmas. The dinner is on December 18th.
Friday the
Friday
18th.
Friday
Friday
18th. We always have our Christmas dinner the Friday before the week of Christmas every year. So, and we have it right here in the Veterans Memorial Hall. So any of those things would be of help. Did I get them all?
So what we've talked about, we're having a Christmas dinner on the 2nd of December. We're asking all of our members to bring their donated items that night, and then we will get them to you.
Oh, wonderful.
So for you members of our club, if you want to donate a free toys in the neighborhood of $5 to $10, they have to be new. We want new items. Bring them that night to our Christmas party, which will be held right here, and then we will get them to Tabitha's Way.
And if you would bring them unwrapped, we try to make sure that the toys are age appropriate for the kids. So we provide them so that the kids can see what the toys are. But wrapping's nice, but
Thank
it's,
you,
we
Eugene.
want to make sure we get the right thing to the right child. So.
Say the address of your place, Tabitha's Way again.
So Tabitha's Way is at 140 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. So,
Here's the website.
oh, yep, here's our website,
Website, www.tabithasway.org.
There's a little button that says donate, so just click on donate, and it has a note section, so if you want to donate for the turkeys, just put turkeys in the line, and your funds will go to buying turkeys for families.
And I go around and back when I donate, right? Back.
Yes, yeah, yeah, you go to the back.
Better parking back there.
So,
So let's give Wendy another round of applause and let her sit down. Thank you so much. Our next meeting of our Spanish Fork Kiwanis will be Wednesday, 2 weeks from tonight. Am I right? I don't have my card.
Saturday at 10 o'clock.
No, that's our next, our next meeting will be our road cleanup this Saturday at 10 a.m. And then our next regular meeting will be
The 18th,
November 18th.
right here. They're gonna honor our,
Anybody need a card?
we're gonna honor our high school service clubs.
Yes. So our high school service clubs will be honored. It will not be a dinner, but we'll have refreshments like we did tonight.
Thank you, Gene.
And our key kids, we had 26 of them go out last Friday for UNICEF and collected $340.
That's excellent.
So that was a great project. There was a lot of you that helped with that. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for all that helped with the Key Club in there. And they raised over $300
Yeah, 339.
during the trick or treat time
For UNICEF.
for UNICEF. Thank you so much. And then our Christmas party, our Christmas dinner will be here at this building on December 2nd. So kind of put that in your calendar. And we try and have it as early in the month as we can because things really get busy in December. Thank you so much, Wendy and Jody, for coming tonight.
thank you.
And I want each one of us in the Kiwanis Club to really dig down in our hearts and see what we can do personally and as a club. We really think this is important for our community. And thank you so much for coming tonight. If there's no other business, I'm going to adjourn. And we have refreshments behind the door there at the Veterans Building. Thank you so much.